It's 6 o'clock on Thursday, the 30th of January, 2020. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to the English edition of Ora News. My name is Christopher, bringing you the only update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The President Ilir Meta has again raised the alarm of concern over the depopulation of the country. In the event of the presentation of the Holy Father's message, Pope Francis, for the 53rd World Peace Day, the head of the state called the phenomenon alarming, which according to him requires a nationwide response from all actors, but also from the Albanian citizens. If anyone tells me that this phenomenon happens everywhere, I can say that it is by no means of this magnitude. Moreover, we are not dealing with a simple departure, but permanent depopulation. For every one Serb that leaves Serbia, 8 Albanians leave Albania. For every 1 out of 1,000 Montenegrins leaving Montenegro, 11 Albanians leave Albania. This is an alarming and dramatic situation that requires a response from all our stakeholders and all of our citizens. The head of state said this politics should be at the service of the citizens. Politics and politicians should be at the service of its citizens. They should use public and institutional dialogue responsibly in the interest of the citizen. The government should lead them by serving the national interest and the future of the country, to work responsibly and to provide the conditions for our youth to be educated here and build their lives and futures here. On World Peace Day, the head of state also returned to the topic of border changes in Kosovo, where he said we should work on border removal, not border change. Anti-defamation today, when President Ilir Meta's decree on revising the law on audiovisual media was to be voted on, the majority has withdrawn by postponing the vote until Venice's opinion has been received. I would propose that the vote on the decree be postponed until the Venice Commission issues its report on March 20th to 21st, said Bala. The Venice Commission had set a date of March 20th for the review of the anti-defamation package, a proceeding which will confront the majority of the Council of Europe. A day earlier, a reporter for Albania in the EPP group of the European Parliament called on the government to withdraw from the adoption of this package, as it seriously jeopardizes the opening of negotiations. I am reiterating my position on the risk that new media laws carry over the possible opening of negotiations with the EU. The EPP group of the European Parliament strongly believes in opening accession negotiations with Albania, but Albania must respect the Copenhagen criteria, which is a basic minimum standard for a candidate country. If the Rama government approves laws in its current form, it will put the prospect of EU membership negotiation in serious jeopardy. Rama's government must fulfill the specific recommendations given by the European Commission and the Council of Europe. U.S. Ambassador to Albania, Yuri Kim, held a meeting today with the head of the Special Anti-Corruption Structure, Arben Kraja. Today is the deadline for applying for the head of the National Bureau of Investigation. The day before, Kim met with Chief Prosecutor Olcian Cela. The U.S. diplomat guaranteed the U.S. Attorney General assistance in implementing justice reform. U.S. Ambassador Yuri Kim congratulated Attorney General Olcian Cela on his recent election to the new post and pledged continued technical assistance from the United States to assist Albania in pursuing justice reform. Kim also urged prosecutors, while fulfilling the promise of an independent judiciary with fairness for all, to work with the mindset of public service, integrity, and protection of human rights. From the early hours this morning, electric market businessmen have been protesting the city's demolition project in the Ali Demi neighborhood. They have received an order stating that by 9 p.m. they should abandon the market as a container removal work will begin. At about 9:49, City Hall employees began dismantling containers from the electric market. There is increased police presence in the area. Business owners in front of the Tirana municipality demand an urgent meeting with Mayor Veliaj. The municipality has asked businessmen to relocate the vehicle replacement plant, the former Škoda Autotraktor plant, but they are asking the municipality to first organize the area. Where are we to send our goods? Outraged businessmen say the municipality has not informed them where their businesses will be moved to after the market collapses. This is a shame what the municipality is doing. There are 232 workers here. We voted for the better candidate not to leave us out in the street. They are massacring the merchants, said a merchant representative, which denied the existence of a petition signed by them for the market disruption. We've been told to go wherever you want. We'll break it down. Anyhow, you all to pay taxes. Businessmen demand that the municipality find another place where they can continue conducting their business. Containers have been placed there by the municipality, not by us. We have been paying taxes for 30 years. We are licensed businessmen, not a health clinic. We have not any negotiations. Now he tells us that we are to move to Shkoza. The businessmen then moved their protest to the Tirana municipality. The head of the opposition, Lulzim Basha, met in Shkozet with residents who have not received the rent bonus, even though it has been 2 months since the November 26 earthquake. Residents said that they were furious that their building was badly damaged, but the municipality, without expert assessment, told them they may return to their homes. For the opposition leader, this situation of insecurity 2 months after the earthquake is the bill of failure due to the propaganda from the government. There was no change and it has already been 2 months. Neither damage assessment nor claims the bill. We have only talk and propaganda. I am very worried because this is starting to get into the third stage of a crisis. The first is the health of the sick, the elderly, and the children. The second, the state of business and the impact it has on the economy of Durrës. And the third, as the budget year begins, $150 million that have been dispersed for the oligarchs as people are waiting for the donor conference to give them their rent bonuses and indemnify their homes, Basha said. All Asian and especially Chinese nationals are undergoing strict medical checkups at the border crossings before entering Albania. A tourist from Japan told Ora News while visiting Çapdana that he understands the measures shouldn't be understood as racial profiling, as this is a global alarm. All Asian nationals are facing more stringent controls at the border crossings when entering into our country, alarms as security measures against the spread of the coronavirus. This Japanese tourist was given a thorough health check before being allowed to enter our country through the border crossing of Çapdana. The Japanese tourist expressed his understanding as the alarm for the deadly virus is now global. I'm from Japan. The virus is not widespread in our country, but it is a big problem in China. We, the people, are also concerned about the situation. A similar situation was encountered on Wednesday afternoon by a group of 9 Chinese tourists in Hanihotit, tourists from the European Union countries. They were held for several hours in health control points before being allowed to visit northern Albania. The same procedure is being followed at the Moriçan border crossing point. Information leaflets are given to the travelers entering and leaving our country. Medical tests are being carried out as well. We are not a primary customs point because the persons crossing the Moriçan customs are scanned across other border points. We simply are a transit point, said Amela Bushati. Measures against the spread of the deadly coronavirus have also increased in the port of Saranda, where tourists usually enter Albania from the island of Corfu during the winter months. And many families in the municipality of Leja continue to live in damaged buildings, saying they have found it difficult to find a safe home in the city. They experienced the January 28th shakes with great panic, but conditions still force them to coexist with this danger. The shakes of the January 28th quake restored fears among Leja residents who continue to reside in declared hazardous facilities after November 26th of last year. Residents say they know the danger they face, but are forced to live with fear. Of course we're afraid. They complain that in Leja it has become difficult to find a home for rent, as prices are much higher than the rental bonus. The fear is for the children that we have now nowhere to go. Rents have gone up everywhere. We didn't even try looking for a home because we couldn't afford it. In the municipality of Leja, there are 13 buildings declared uninhabitable, and any swing is a minefield for residents who continue to reside within these buildings. They seek the help of the state to find shelter as they are unable to afford it, staying instead in their damaged homes. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Ora News, thank you and good night.